Hey guys, what's up? It's me, it's JRPG Bro. We're playing more Persona 5 Strikers here, and we're at the end of the game here, and I want to talk to you guys today about getting the sweet Platinum Trophy. There's a series of trophies in the game, at the end of the game, that really kind of might get you stuck up on getting that Platinum Trophy. The first one being beating the Reaper. That is an end game request that we get when we actually beat everything. We have to do a series of requests, but they pretty much complete every single request we get from our characters, as well as, you know, regular requests, so we have to beat the bosses at least 3 times, some of them. So we get that. We have to start New Game Plus on Merciless. All you have to do is really just start the game. You don't really have to do anything else. That unlocks another trophy, and then we have to complete the Persona Compendium. You can actually complete the Persona Compendium 97% in one fell swoop. What you can't do is you can't make your ultimate persona essentially for the game, which is Lucifer. Lucifer has to be made in New Game Plus, so you can just do that in your Merciless run as soon as you get to Shibuya. But we're going to talk today about the hardest, most annoying trophy to get, and that is maxing all your bind levels. Here you see we have everything maxed out at level 98, except for this one. We have 107,905 experience points to go before we can actually reach the maximum bond trophy, which will then unlock the Platinum Trophy, as those are the only 2 trophies we have left. Now, there are 3 ways that we can actually unlock this trophy here. The first way being what the developer probably wants us to do, and that is playing the game on Merciless mode. Now, Merciless does give you more experience point drops in terms of experience as a whole, and bond points as a whole as well, because you're playing on the hardest difficulty in the game. I tried that, got my ass handed to me, and it really didn't feel like it was making a big dent. The other way is we can farm the Reaper. Now, the Reaper does give us a fair amount of experience points and bond points as a whole, but the one problem is, as you can see, we don't actually spawn anywhere near the Reaper. It takes time, so what we have to do is we actually have to get to the Reaper, clear the enemies so they don't attack us when we're low on HP and, you know, SP, and we actually have to fight the actual Reaper. This actually does take some time, as you can see. That's the whole point here. We're trying to figure out what is the best method for farming. Now, while the Reaper may give us the most amount of bond experience points, the other method might be a lot faster, even if it doesn't feel like it. Now, no matter what method you take, it's going to take a long time. I think we cleared the main story with a bond level in the lower 70s maybe, and when we're in the low 70s, like 71, 72, somewhere in that area, we literally spent last weekend playing this. I think we did about 10 to 15 hours, if not more, in-game to get to this point. And it does take a long time to do this. It's a lot of farming. It takes a lot of experience points here, which is why a lot of people say just do New Game Plus on Merciless, because the dire shadows will respawn over and over again, and they'll give you a shit ton of bond experience points, but that's not the goal here. The goal is not for us to really play through on Merciless. So we have to get to the Reaper. This is actually in the Okinawa jail, which is actually one of the shorter jails in the entire game, so it doesn't take that long to actually get to him. It's a matter of actually clearing out the enemies so we don't get destroyed on our way there. Now, I want to point out here, as you can see, our party is level 99, and that's going to happen. So the cool thing about this is, since it does take a long time, what I strongly suggest is rotating out your party members near this portion of the game, so everybody can be a nice rounded out level 99, have all their stats that they can be maxed. Of course, you can max out all their in-game stats as well using the incense that you get throughout the game. The incense doesn't just apply to the main character's personas, which is actually great. We can actually level up their stats in other ways, which is fantastic as a whole. So we've pretty much gotten to the Reaper. It took us about 3 and change to get to the Reaper. So keeping that in mind, 3 and change to get to the Reaper here. And now we're still actually having to take some more time. So we gotta go in this path here, and the Reaper will spawn for us. So the Reaper fight, it's actually, I don't know if I say it's harder than the actual Persona 5 Reaper was. I don't know if it's harder than the Persona 4 Reaper. The reason is because, as you can see, this is really just like a regular boss fight. The game does get really crazy with our everything going on the screen. So what we want to do here is we do want to play as Joker here. We actually want to be able to control all the characters at some point throughout the game, and we want to be able to max out all their master arts. Now, there's several trophies associated with that, one for each character and then one for maxing out all of them. So if we can max out all of them, we'll have the best possible combos that we can. So for Joker, we're going to spam his triangle attack, which is literally just shooting his gun. It doesn't take up any gun ammo, and it'll allow us to do extra attacks here. We're using the Yoshitsune persona because Yoshitsune is broken in pretty much every Persona game ever. It doesn't really matter. We're not using any of the skills or SP points here. As you can see, we're really just spamming that triangle button. Then when it tells us we can do a follow-up, we do the follow-up here. And then we can do the the Showtime move. We do the Showtime move. So we're getting hit. Now, I strongly advise having at least one healer in your party at this point. Like I said, it doesn't matter as much. So the healers are on... is a full-time healer. Makoto is a good healer. Sophie and Morgana, I'm forgetting his name, are good healers. They're all worthy of having in your party. I like to have An and Makoto because they're two of my personal favorite characters. So Makoto being my personal favorite in the game. She is best girl and ultimate waifu material. So you see we're slowly winding down the Reaper. It is taking some serious time. I think we're about 2 minutes maybe into this encounter at this point with the Reaper. So it does take time, and then we get this little cutscene here. And this, we're about halfway down in about 2 minutes here. And like I said, we do get a lot of experience points. It really is worth it. Now, if this was our first time fighting the Reaper, we'd unlock the Reaper trophy, which is a great way to do it. So at least doing the Reaper once, maybe a few times here, if you really feel like the Reaper is the best course of action. I wasn't entirely sure, so I wanted to run this experiment. I was pretty sure. I figured it out the other week, last weekend, when we were first trying to do this and trying to get as fast as we can, what the best course of action is. Now, I would strongly advise not trying to grind out all your bond experience points in one fell swoop. Do it a few hours at a time and walk away maybe at max, because it does get repetitive and redundant unless you are going to try to play the game on Merciless. Now, there are 2 other places in the game where you can grind out bond points before you get to the end game. Keep in mind, this is end game / post game. Mostly this is post game here. So if you're in the end game, the last city you're in, there is a statue in the city. The Bilkin statue, I believe is how it's pronounced. You can rub its feet. It gives you bond experience points. So all you have to do is rub its feet, leave, come back to that section of the map, rinse and repeat. And that's how you'll actually, get bond points. It takes a lot of time. It's not as consistent as this is, but it does, it does work. I was able to get about 5-7 levels out of it, and, it took time and it really got redundant. Now, I think it's either the second or third town, city in the actual game where it's the same thing, but it's something different. You have to buy fortunes. So as you can see, we cleared out the Reaper here, and we will have a nice, easy way of getting back into the actual checkpoint here. So we actually have to go back. We don't have a way to get out here. There's no go-homes in this game, which is very frustrating as a whole, but I mean, it is what it is. So here we go. We should be fine. And we got a decent amount of bond experience points from this entire thing. If you guys remember, we were about 107,000 experience points here as a whole, needing to go to reach level 99. So once we hit that level 99, we'll be able to max out that last bond level and pop that trophy, as well as popping the platinum trophy. And it's a really good experience. It's frustrating because I'm sitting here doing this for hours on end, and I'm literally like losing my mind because it's repetitive and redundant at the same point in time. I'm not very good at games on higher difficulties. I don't like playing on ridiculous difficulties. Games are meant to be a relaxing experience for me, and this did not feel like it. So here we go. We reached the checkpoint. So it took about 7 minutes to get about 40,000 bond experience points, which isn't terrible. If you round that out, you probably get, we'll round it up to about 10 minutes or so. Barring a few other things like just loading and everything like that. So we're talking about maybe having 6 runs in an hour and getting about 240,000 bond experience points in an hour. That's a rough estimate here. I'm not saying this is 100% accurate, but now we go to the second section here, which is the Metatron fight here. So you see here, we're going to pull this back up again just so for reference, 64,787 bond experience points. And we're about, we're going to switch over to Ryuji. The reason why Metatron is weak to electricity. So we're going to see how long this takes. So this is the best possible method, I believe, here. Metatron will net us about 22,500 experience points on his own for this encounter. So we're actually going to spam with Ryuji here. When we hit the weakness, we get that additional 1-up attack here, and we keep spamming it over and over again. Now, when we do that, we get that one more. We actually get more HP and SP. So once we hit him with the technical, we're going to spam the shit out of God's Hand. God's Hand will land critical hits, a high chance of critical hits, and it's a very powerful physical attack. So once again, we need to have Ryuji, and we need to make sure we also have a electric persona, lightning persona for Joker on hand as well. If we do have that, in case Ryuji runs out of SP, we can always switch over to that other, Joker and using him. And the first few times you do this, if you're a lower level, you are going to run out of SP, so you're going to need to use Joker. Literally, when I started doing this, Ryuji was level 71. Most of my characters were in their 70s because you had to get that trophy for having every member of the Phantom Thieves at level 70 as well. As you can see, we are really whittling down this guy's health, and we're talking about this fight maybe taking 2 to 3 minutes to get 22,000 experience points. Now, we're going to say probably takes approximately 5 minutes in total for us to get the entire Metatron quest down. So if it's 5 minutes, we're talking about 15 times you can probably run this in an hour, give or take. And once you hit that, you'll be able to do probably a bit more experience points. Because if we're talking, 15, you're talking anywhere from 300 to 400,000 experience points if my math is right. As you can see, we took him down pretty quickly. Not even, I think it was about 2 minutes fight. So we were able to do that, and now we're just about a fight or two away from reaching that platinum trophy and maxing out all our bonds. You see now we're at 42,287. So that'll be about 2 more fights with him. So that'll take about 10 more minutes, maybe max, to get that trophy here. So I want to thank you guys for checking out my video here. We have more game tips coming your way. We are going to be playing through Persona 5 Strikers. We're going to have a Let's Play for that coming your way. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I've been that JRPG bro. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all later.